Okay, let's create these last two elements. I'm going to open up the reference again, and I'm going to use my guide tool. So I'm going to grab my move tool. Let's grab this guide that's not being used. Let's zoom in and drag this just below. There we go. So we know where to drag this. We can go out just a bit. And let's copy any one of these. It doesn't matter. I'm also going to minimize these really quickly. I'm just going to copy the last one, offline copy, and we're going to change the names in just a second. Control J. Duplicate it. Let's drag it down. And we need to hide our reference layer. Okay, and let's drag this down just below. And we need to grab the text. And let me look real quick. Andrew Eddy, log out. Let's change this. And you can change this to your name, obviously, because it's going to be your account. Log out. And we need to drag this to the center. So let's just, while holding shift, drag over to the right. And one last thing, let's just create a small text field below this that says Udemy 2.4.21. Oops. Let me delete that text layer. And let's just write Udemy v version 2.4.21, something like that. And let's go ahead and make this a regular weight. Make it a little bit smaller. Let's do 35 pixels, and let's change from the dark black to a lighter gray, something like this. Okay, and let's make sure this is centered as well. All right, let me just look at the reference real quick. Looks pretty good. And that's it. Let's zoom out. We can delete this reference layer. We no longer need it. I'm going to organize and rename these really quickly. This is the Logout folder. Oops. We'll call this FAQ. This is About. And the others are already named. So something I like to do, if there's not enough colors to give each folder an individual one, you probably have too many out. So we can grab all of these from setting content all the way to log out. And let's just right click. Sorry, let's go up to layer, new. And we're going to create a group from these layers and just call it settings main. So now we've taken it a step further as far as organization goes, and we can give this a color. Let's do the orange. And now we have a nice clean document. Our layers are nice and organized. And we finally completed the Udemy screen design project. Finally, we can put this into InVision and create a really cool working prototype. It's going to function as if this were a working app. It's just not going to have any of the back-end development behind it. So let's get into it. But before we do get into it, let's make sure that we save these as a JPEG and a PSD. Let's call it settings. It's already in my PSD folder. And let's just make sure we save this as a JPEG as well. Settings.jpg. Let's find the Udemy folder. And let's save it. There, now we're finally ready.